Mind if I use your phone? If word gets out that I'm missing, 500 girls will kill themselves. I wouldn't want them on my conscience. Not that they ought to be on my face.
Shit, bollocks! Hello.
Oh, fuck, oh, God! I just want to go to Swindon! Right, well, that's it. Decision made. I'll have to wear the green tights now.
Everyone in this hall knows in their hearts that England is simply the greatest country in the world.
Fucking hell, hello! Fucking great! Twang! Fucking great! I want to get married! Maidstone.
Well, I found the answer. Zelda Link's Awakening from Nintendo. You play a medieval elf named Link.
You travel through many worlds, meeting endless characters on your eternal...
Can I ask where your eggs come from?
Hens' vaginas.
Ah.
Stop it, you'll go blind.
Are you in love, Private? Then don't look at me or give me nightmares.
It is inconceivable that those planes brought those buildings down.
Pollution. All around. Sometimes up, sometimes down.
Well, this is a silly thing to say to a small boy at any time. It immediately made him wonder what sort of mischief he might get up to.
I may be dead by the time you watch this. Very possibly are. You don't know who's the man who's making things he wants you to see. Destroy your television sets. Now. You must listen to no orders.
Drop dead friend.
Hello everyone, welcome to Sim John's Insane Asylum. Hope everyone is doing well, and it's been a while since I did a video like this. Been a while, yeah. Hope everyone's doing well and is doing okay in YouTube land and the real world and all that bollocks. So yeah, where do we start? Let me just have my drink. So in today's video, I am going to be reminiscing a lot about good old Rik Mayall. Man, where do we start? It's very hard to believe that it's 10 years. 10 years. Count them. 10 years since Rik passed away. I just don't know. Where the years go anymore. It goes so quick when you get older. Ever since I've turned 26, the time goes in a flash. Flash by name, flash by nature. Woof! Hi, Queenie. You look sexy. Nice beard. Gives me something to hang on to. Although I've had to trim my beard because I look like fucking Captain Caveman. So I had to give it a bit of a trim. So yeah, so this is not going to be a biography. This is just going to be reminiscing, memories and stuff. So I first watched Bottom, the third series. It must have been I couldn't have been very old. I must have been about, because the third series came out January 1995. Just trying to remember. I must have been only 4 or 5 when I was only 4 or 5. 4 or 5 when I first watched Bottom. Bloody hell, no wonder I see a psychotherapist. No wonder my mind is so warped. Yeah, so yeah, Bottom pretty much. I mean, Rick and A pretty much shaped my sense of humour. They really did. And of course, at that age, 4 or 5 might have been. It's probably too young to appreciate all the the sexual jokes. But what attracted me to Rick and A's work in Bottom at that age was sort of the violence, because it reminded me the violence was so cartoonish. It reminded me of Tom and Jerry, those type of cartoons. So I thought it was hilarious. Hitting each other, with frying pans and bashing their heads in with fridge doors. It was just, I just found it hilarious. And only when I got older that you appreciate the sexual jokes. Particularly in the first episode. Oh my god, it smells just brilliant. It's like, why does anybody want to have sex with me? Well, look on the bright side. At least you're not going to get any sexually transmitted diseases. You're right there, but I'd be lucky to catch a flu off a girl. I must admit, I got to sex with somebody the conductor sneezed on my head this morning. Oh, I'm so... Oh, cheer up, Richie. There's loads and loads of ugly birds. One of us bound to do it sooner or later, but there must be a way to get a woman to sleep with me. Well, the sleeping part I'm interested in. It's the waking up bit I'm interested in. Hey, I've just a fantastic idea. Oh, great. Well, what? What's the fantastic idea? To drink that. Only joking. Why not put an ad in a Lonely Hearts column? Yeah. Ugly virgin, desperate to see sex of any description. That is absolutely brilliant. Suave, sophisticated, witty, let's be accurate with the truth. Something young Huckleberry. What about Badger? No, I'm more hedgehog. No, fox. That's good. Foxy Stout. Foxy Stout seeks. Excuse me. Pig. Foxy Stout seeks pig. Shut up, Eddie. This is very important to me. Let's have a look at the newspaper. Gay. Oh, widow. Busty. Ravenhead. Millionairess. Gay. Hang on, Eddie. This is the gay section. So yeah, just and in the sex shop as well with the dildo. We are men of science. Oh, brilliant. So yeah, as a kid, I really got the cartoon violence, and just brilliant. It's brilliant. So yeah, so the first episode I watched was the Ferris wheel. So the first series was the first series I ever watched, and from a very biased, nostalgic glasses, it is my favourite series out of the three. I think it's because it was the first series I ever watched, so it always has a special heart in my place. But I think quality-wise, out of the three series, is probably series 2. Because series 2, you've got Digger, you've got Burglary, you've got Parade, you've got the Christmas episode, which is very iconic, and then again you've got Gas, which is another iconic episode on the first series, and a lot of people's favorite episode is the Gas one, but for me is the Halloween one. Halloween was brilliant. That always stuck out to me as a kid. The sound effects, the practical effects of the cattle prod. It's just brilliant. People people forget how good the BBC was at sound effects and practical effects. It was just brilliant. And Bottom was just. If I was a sound effects, I would have had a whale of a time doing the sound effects for the fucking shitting. Just brilliant, just absolutely brilliant. Just Richie, just shitting his pants all the time, and not learning. You shit your pants once, you're going to shit them again if you use it. I honestly think Eddie created that cattle prod just to for his own amusement, just to see Richie shit his pants. What I want to know is, why does he say trick or treat? He has to foul himself. I think it's a deep, conscious desire to amuse. Oh, she's back. Right, it has to be there because I'm down to my last pair of tights. I knew I should have pulled the bumper back. Right, Eddie, hand me the cattle prod. You, in. Right, you're going to go in. I'm going to answer the door, and I'm going to say trick or treat, and you're going to give me some cash. I'm still not sure. Oh, just get on with it, you big vat of dripping. Close the door. Oh, right, trick or ruddy treat. I thought that was my line. Oh, who would be an 8-year-old? Look, are you going to give us some money or not? No. Eddie, how do you sweep this bloody figure? It's just that little lever there. Okay, matey. And then, brilliant, brilliant episode. Brilliant episode. The fucking Sprite Mexican. Oh, the fire farting. It's just brilliant. Just brilliant. I mean, people would say very schoolboy style of humour, but there was more to Rick and Nate than just dick jokes and fart jokes. They were just, they were. I mean, for me, Rick and Nate, the best comedy duo of all time. I mean, they were like. I mean, for me, they were like the punk. They were like a punk, anarchic punk version of Peter Cook and Dudley Moore. To me, they were more violent and they were just brilliant. The just amazing stuff they gave us. I mean, just amazing stuff. In many ways, they were like, there was more. It wasn't friendship. It was like they were in many ways they were like blood brothers, really. They were attached to the hip. Whether it was the Dangerous Brothers or Young Ones and Waiting for Godot, and they were just. I mean, they broke down so many barriers. Rick and Aid and all the gang on Comedy Store. The alternative comedians. They broke so much ground. And people compare the Comedy Store to punk. I mean, and in a way, Young Ones was in essence a punk comedy. It broke down, a lot of barriers. But for me, the Comedy Store, particularly, what Rick and Aid were doing. Excuse me, Pop. In what Rick and Aid were doing was, in many ways, the two-tone of comedy. Like, in a sense that they broke down barriers for sexism and racism. And in many ways, it was a reaction to a lot of the 70s comedy in those stuffy, smelly, sweaty northern clubs like Bernard Manning. It was a reaction to those type of comedians that did a lot of, racial jokes and sexual jokes. It was a reaction to that. So in many ways, comedians like Bernard Manning, they were sort of like the prog rock. Maybe I'm giving him too credit. But sort of like they were like the proggy sort of prog rock sort of thing. Whereas the Comedy Store was like punk, post-punk sort of style, I don't know if that makes sense or not. I'm probably talking. You're talking bollocks. Don't you use language like that? What English? The language of the gutter snipe. The language of the toilet. The language of little things you're going. But yeah, you know what I mean. I think I know. I don't know. I think I am talking bollocks, but gosh, a stuffy old day today. Very humid today. Very humid as I record this. But yeah, so the Comedy Store, you know, people like Rick and Aid and Dawn French, they broke, you know, like Tilton, they broke a lot of barriers for sexism and racism. You know, particularly, you know, and also politically as well, because it was because you know, a lot of stuff in the young ones was a reaction to how the country was being run. You know, a lot of it was you know, a swiping, scathing attack on Thatcherism. Because I remember reading an interview years ago, or it was in a book, that Rick wanted to take down Thatcherism. You know, he really did, and you know, just great comedy. You know, just great stuff. You know, in many ways, the Rick character, the young ones would work now. You know that, you know, the stereotypical, you know, left leaning, left wing student that protests about everything, but when it comes down to it, they won't do the real protesting. You know what I mean? It's sort of like they're like a dog with too much bark and not enough bite, sort of like that. You know, like a lot of these. I mean, nothing's changed really with the students. You know, they protest about everything, but when it comes down to it, they won't protest about the real problems in the world. It's always some just bollocks that doesn't really only affects 2% of people. But yeah, I mean, I watched all the series on bottom religiously on VHS. God, my whole childhood, really. You know that. You know, Rick. You know, Nade. You know, my childhood. You know, it's very rare I can remember a time without Rick and Nade. Because, like I said, I was only 4 or 5, and I watched the third series. I mean, I had them recorded on VHS. We didn't get the VHSs, but we just record them. You know, get your blank VHS tapes from Hyper Value in town and just record them religiously. You know, and and to me, bottom there isn't a bad episode. The same the young ones. I mean, there's ones you enjoy more, but for me, there isn't a bad episode of Bottom or bad episode of Young Ones. Like, I think my least favourite Bottom episode is probably Break, and that's for a lot of people. There's nothing bad about the episode. I mean, there is a few standout moments in it, particularly where Richie cuts off Eddie's legs with a chainsaw. That's quite memorable. I think, isn't that the one with the Mormon knocks the door? Just, hello. Have you ever wondered how beautiful the world is? Yes, I have. I think that's in that episode. I think that's the one Eddie. I'm trying to remember now. I think that's the one when Eddie's got his motorbike. You actually see his motorbike in that one. But yeah, that's probably my least favourite episode of Bot. It's not a bad episode. It's just my least favourite. But you know, a lot of people would say the Gas episode. Oh, Gas episode's brilliant. That would be in my top 5 episodes. So, you know, top 5 episodes, I think. Terror. Then I'd put. I'm trying to think. Then I'd probably put Gas. So, Terror, Gas. Oh, God. I'm trying to think. I put Digger on there. Then. Maybe Accident. And then Parade. Oh, hang on, what have I said? Oh, I've confused myself now. Bollocks. So Terror, Gas. Terror, Gas. Terror, Gas. Parade. Finger. And then probably Holy, maybe, but that could change. That could easily change. That could easily change. But yeah, I used to watch them religiously on VHS. Did never watch the live shows until I was older because it was obviously the live show. They went balls out of being really outrageous, And yeah, I got to see Rick and Aid on tour on the Arse Oddity tour. I was only 11. Couldn't get away with that now. Bizarre back then, 2001. I was 11. Didn't check in ages. There was loads of kids in the audience, and Bottom did appeal to kids. People forget Bottom, it was only for adults, but in the schoolyard, in my schoolyard, everyone loved Bottom. Everyone loved Rick. We used to talk for hours about Bottom to friends, and you go, "Oh yeah, have you seen that episode when he proves himself?" And all that. And you've seen that episode with, it was. I'm telling you, it was very popular with kids. Actually, in my school, it was very popular. Even the teachers used to talk about Rik Mayall and Bottom. How fucking good it is. How fucking good that series is. And people don't give Bottom enough credit. I don't think. I prefer Bottom to Young Ones, but I grew up with Bottom before Young Ones. I mean, if I had seen Young Ones first, then seen Bottom, maybe I would have preferred the Young Ones. I don't know. I mean, depending on my mood, really. Depending on my mood, sometimes I'll enjoy the Young Ones more than Bottom, and sometimes I'll enjoy Bottom more. I think it's depending on what mood I'm in, because Bottom was compared to the Young Ones, it was apolitical. There was no political, it didn't really tackle much political issues in that. I mean, because it's obviously by that time Thatcher had gone, because Bottom came out in 1991, so Thatcher was gone, so Major was in. But I'd say the only thing that was political in Bottom was the last episode of Carnival with the Prime Minister. Brilliant. He's like, there you go, completely blank. Hang on, what's that? It's a room, I don't recognise that. It's the Prime Minister. Stand up, Benny, for God's sake. Salute. That's enough of that. Good afternoon, sir. He's taking his clothes off. Oh, he must be tired, Oh, hello, who's that? Is that his mother? Oh, perhaps so, yes. Oh, what is that? Looks like a model of a moon rocket, is it? That's not a moon rocket. Oh, Eddie, this gives an idea to wily so-and-sos like us to blackmail the Prime Minister. Get me the Prime Minister. Because I want to blackmail him. Richard, oh shit. Accidentally gave my name away. Eddie, you'll have to ring for me, but using an assumed name. Rightio. Yes, I like to blackmail the Prime Minister. Richard. Eddie, you bloody fool. They'll be on to us now. Don't talk bollocks, Richie. They're taking weeks to catch up for us. I said, it's the SAS. Oh, sandwiches. If they give us sandwiches, we could eat like kings. What kind of sandwiches do you do? Sandwiches. They say they don't do sandwiches. They're a highly trained anti-terrorist organisation. Funny as fuck. But yeah, overall, Bottom didn't really tackle political issues, really. I mean, then again, the Falklands. That was funny. Richie pretends to be a fucking Falklands veteran. Funny as fuck. In Parade. But yeah, Bottom was quite apolitical. Even though I would say Richie was a closet conservative. I really do think he'd be the type to vote conservative. Eddie wouldn't. Eddie too fucking drunk to know. But yeah, so classic characters. Richie and Eddie, just really classic characters. And I think they called it Bottom, not just to be rude, but I think when you look at Richie and Eddie, there's, in Britain there's a class system, isn't it? You got the upper class, royalty, got the middle class, and you got the working class, and then you got Richie and Eddie, two unemployed, unloved, uncared, you know, two undesirable, unemployed, underachievers. They were, the bottom of society. If you actually look at the bottom of society, it would have been Richie and Eddie. But because they're so likable, it's just, and yet they're so likable in the roles. In a way, you are rooting for him in a way. I think. I don't know. I find Richie more likable than Rick in Young Ones. I don't know why. I find him more. I don't know. I find him more likable. I don't know. I just find the character a bit more likable. I don't know. I just do. And Rick had such a manic energy to him. He was like a cartoon character come to life. Just amazing energy in every role he did. And he wasn't a one note, and he didn't give one note performances. You look at Alan Bastard. Alan Bastard, such a horrible MP that Rick was lampooning Thatcherism, and and the way he did was just so brilliant. You could, I imagine you can imagine Nigel Farage modelling himself on Alan Bastard. You can see it, can't you? I mean, I can see it. I can see it a mile away. But what these politicians don't get is satire, taking the piss out of you. That's what they don't get, and just absolutely amazing at Alan Bastard, absolutely amazing. And then of course Lord Flashheart in Blackadder. The complete antithesis of Richie. Richie never has sex. Just completely mad and undesirable, and just self-loathing. And then you got Flashheart, confident. Just a manic, confident, oversexed maniac. Just brilliant. Brilliant. And I imagine Rowan Atkinson was concerned that because Rowan Atkinson, didn't like to be upstage. I've heard stuff. Well, I've uploaded Tom Baker talking about his experience on Blackadder 2, and it sounds like to me Rowan Atkinson didn't want to be upstaged. And to be honest, Tom Baker, you're not going to upstage Tom Baker. Because Tom Baker's Tom Baker. It's like with Rik Mayall. When Rik Mayall's on the screen, everyone else is just ants. And he's a fucking giant. So I can imagine there would have been tension between Atkinson and Mayall. Because he's such a... because Lord Flashheart and Flashheart in Blackadder Goes Forth, such a colourful, just a colourful character, and he appears in Blackadder Goes Forth as a German officer. Oh, I haven't seen it for ages. German pilot. That's it. Yeah, Rik Mayall shoots him. Brilliant. Yeah, got this on Blu-ray. Yeah, this came out I think this came out on its 40th anniversary. I think. Yeah, it did. Just brilliant, and it just looks so good. It looks so good on Blu-ray, and they've actually put the racist policeman back in because BritBox. I think BritBox is gone now, but when the Young Ones was on BritBox, they cut the policeman out, which to me doesn't make sense because the joke's on the policeman. Basically, if you haven't seen it, So Vivian has won a competition, cornflakes competition, and he gets I think it's called a Ford. It's a golden Ford Tipex car, So the person representative of the competition, knocks on the door, and you got this stupid policeman with sunglasses, and he just calls the guy, really bad racist, terms for black people, really bad, and it just makes him look like a fool because he takes his sunglasses. Oh, I'm sorry, John. I thought you was a, but it's like it's poking fun at him. It's not. Condoning what the policeman is doing. It's condemning it. Because particularly in the early 80s, there was a lot of bad, institutional racism, particularly in the late 70s and early 80s, because a lot of the times the police protected the National Front and the British movement. And he didn't protect people, and he didn't protect, genuine victims of racist attacks. So, it's an attack, it's a satire on institutional racism. So I don't know why it was like cut out. I don't understand. But yeah, that's back on there. It's got some nice extras on here, commentaries from the. I think Paul Jackson. I think Paul Jackson does a couple of episodes of commentary. Yeah, it's got a couple of episodes of Boom Wiggle the Lights. And just a great comedy, man. It's hard to believe the second series was 40 years ago. It's hard to believe. It's just so hard to believe. Of course, Bottom on DVD. Amazing. I don't know how many times I've watched these. Amazing. I don't know if they'll put these on Blu-ray, but it'd be great if it did. It'd be great. And of course, Rik Mayall Presents as well. Oh my God, there's some great episodes in that. Just showing Rik, his acting chops. The Dancing Queen episode's brilliant, where he ends up in Scarborough with Helen Bonham Carter. That's a great episode. It's just brilliant. And what else? Drop Dead Fred, brilliant. Yeah, the ending to that makes me sad. Makes me sad now. Yeah, but it's a good film though. I don't know why it reminds me of John Lydon in Drop Dead Fred. Just the wild red hair and the just.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm recording on Clip Traps, which only gives me half an hour. I don't know why the camera, the default camera on this laptop doesn't seem to record sound very well for some reason. I don't know what the reason for that is, but anyway, stop talking bollocks. Right, let's carry on. So yeah, so it's all about Drop Dead Fred. So yeah, Drop Dead Fred was in many ways should have been Rik's breakthrough into America. He was hoping to be a breakthrough into America, and it didn't quite happen. It would have been very interesting to see Rik in more. If he had a Hollywood career, but then again, would he have liked? Would he have liked to be in Hollywood? Because I don't. Who knows? I mean, it's one of those what ifs, isn't it? But I remember he was on Dave Letterman. Pissed David Letterman off. Fucking hell, that's not fucking hard, is it? Fucking hell. Some of the jokes he came up with. Dave Letterman did not look impressed. Oh, dearie me. That's British humour, see? British humour, you either get it or you don't. But I think most Americans get. I don't understand why he didn't get it, because I always thought Americans responded quite well to zany, goofy humour. But I don't know. But yeah, I enjoyed Drop Dead Fred when I was a kid. Brilliant. And of course, years later, when I played this game, I heard the voice. I thought, hang on a minute. That voice sounds very familiar. I looked it up, I thought, Rik Mayall. I thought, wow, Rik Mayall, doing voices in a video game. But it's a good video game as well. Brilliant. Very good. But yeah, I mean, what I I didn't know this. I didn't know this till recently that he used to do advertisements for Nintendo. I thought because I've read Adrian Edmondson's book Berserker, and he said Rick wasn't really he wasn't a music buff. Like music wasn't really he didn't really listen to much music. I think I'm trying to remember what bands he liked. I think he liked Mock the Hoople. I think it was 3 bands that he'd mentioned in his book. I think Mock the Hoople. I can't remember the other 2. But Rick was avid. I didn't realise that Rick was such an avid video game player. And I get video games from this guy who runs a shop in Pontypool, and he said he named one of his daughters after Zelda, or son after Zelda, which is amazing. So yeah, he was a very avid gamer, Rick, which is really cool to know. So yeah, trying to think what else. Trying to think what else. I haven't seen the Bottom documentary. I need to watch that. Because I think he put it off for years talking about Rick and Bottom, but I hope he realizes that people still appreciate what he did with Rick. Because I still appreciate what he did with Rick. And in many ways, like I said, they were attached to the hip. I can't imagine a sitcom by themselves. I can't imagine a sitcom with Rick and Wade. It wouldn't feel right. So if he ever did bring back, the Edward Elizabeth Hitler character without Richie, I don't think it'd work. Because I know they were planning to do a new series. They were going to do Hooligans Island, and then there was another idea about in a care home, Bottom in a care home. I think that would have worked, but Age said after the quad bike accident that he wasn't the same person. So remember that. I remember seeing that on the news when it happened, and I was like, oh fucking hell. I was 8 years. I was like, oh, fucking hell. I hope we don't die. I was like, fucking hell. It was a shock. It was very shock. I remember watching it, the news, and I was like, God, I hope he pulls through. Because I think he was in a coma wasn't he technically? I'm sure he said he was technically dead for 4 or 5 days. Because I think he was in a coma. I can't remember a lot of the details, but I think he was in a coma, wasn't he? He was in a coma. And I remember as a kid going, I hope he pulls through. I hope he pulls through. And he did pull through. Because I know I do feel very blessed to have seen him on the Ars Oddity tour, even though it's not my favourite tour of theirs. I think a lot of people enjoy the first 2 live shows. Bottom the live show, and Bottom 2. I can't remember. Hooligans Island's I think Hooligans Island's my favourite though. Out of all the ones I've seen, I think Hooligans Island's the best one. I wish I'd been old enough to see that tour really. But yeah, I seen all the Ars Oddity tour. Seen him that tour back in 2001. My parents have seen Rik Mayall. Seen him one man show back in 90. I think it was 91. Just before Bottom, I think he did a solo stage show. So yeah, I bet that must have been amazing for him. To see Rick, must have been amazing. But I think I've waffled on enough, yeah, because I think I've done 30 minutes or 37 minutes. I don't bloody know. I could spend I could spend another 6 hours talking about Rik. But it wouldn't be very entertaining, would it? No, it won't be. But everyone's fallen asleep now. Everyone's gone, Eddie. Fat ugly bastard. Oh, why was everyone have it off me because I'm a fat ugly bastard with a microscopic penis? Oh, right. But so yeah, I don't know what else to say really, but Rik's legacy lives on. It does live on, and the love that people have for Rik is just amazing. From what I've seen, on YouTube, it's just like losing Rik at 56, which is no age at all. Losing Rik at 56 is still a shock. 10 years on, it's like still doesn't feel real. It's like Bizarro World. It just doesn't. And I remember when the news hit, I was in Scotland on holiday. That ruined that holiday because it just that really dark black cloud of Rik's death. It just hit that holiday into pieces. I've only been to Scotland once, and I didn't enjoy it not because of the people or the actual country. It was just Rik, was gone, and for me, it was like losing a member of the family. But hopefully we'll go to Scotland again, and I will enjoy it. But it was just bad timing. I was in a dark place anyway at that time. 2014, so I was 24. Just a lot of dark shit was happening in my life, and then Rik going, and was just not in a very good place. Not in a very good place. I wasn't. But yeah. So I think I waffled on enough now. But yeah. His legacy will live on. Legacy will live on. And new generations, hopefully, will get to appreciate the man and his work. The man, the myth, the legend, Rik Mayall. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.
Welcome to the insane
Why are you crazy?